Showtime.
What's happening, faithful? What is happening? It's your man Lawrence, basically. Is the best, probably about the best way to say that. Uh, Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. What's up, son?
What's up? What's up?
Not with the reverb, the feedback. You all, if you're not new to the channel, then you know I do that all the time. Welcome in to Platform 246. We got some things to talk about, folks. As you saw from the thumbnail, you know what it is. There's only one thing to talk about. We are one of the more, I would say, quietly drama-filled teams in the league. I don't even know what to call it, son. Do you know what? Think about James, Tyshawn, Javon.
I
Um,
think our team has had the most drama this off season. Honestly.
we've definitely had a drama-filled offseason. So welcome to Platform 246. We want to talk about it with you now. If you are new to the channel, welcome in again. If you're not new, welcome back. Please hit the like button when you come in. We have a poll question. It's very simple. Was Javon right for how he reacted? And I really want to get into all of it today. My son and I are with y'all. We're going to kind of play it back a little bit, kind of break it down and go over it. I watched it late last night. I was just on the internet on YouTube, being a YouTuber, like I frequently am nowadays. And I come across Grant Cohn's page, who, by the way, quick side note, if you haven't heard that story, Grant Cohn, folks, is the reason, not the reason, but he was like the last straw.
We have to keep up with
The
the
reason
chat
why I
too.
do, huh?
We have to keep up with the
We got
chat.
people in the chat?
Yeah.
I don't know if we did. Because I got the poll question up in front of me, but definitely ask the, oh, now I do. Ask our community. All right. Cardcast. How are you doing, Cardcast?
We have to do it like this.
Outstanding. I'm doing well, sir. Thank you very much. How are you? We're going to be on with Cardcast tomorrow, folks. I am. Is that the first one? There we go. Jong is in the building. How you doing, Jong? Away from Kyoto. Cardcast, we're just about to get into it, man. We're going to try to play back the video. As we all know, faithful, this is the biggest thing going right now for us. It's the first week, really, of mini camp, training camp, OTAs, whatever you want to call it. The team is back, and apparently, quite a few of them are tired of what they've been receiving from Mr. Grant Cohn over the years. And so again, as I was saying,
Yeah, as he was saying. I don't
I
know
don't.
what's
It
going on.
may have been about James, which surprises me at this time. What? Am I in and
Nothing.
out? Okay, there we go. Yeah.
You
So
are.
Grant did a video. I'm good. Okay, Grant did a video last year, and it made me just come on and film my first one. And then our channel started rolling since then. So I thank you for that, Grant. But what I don't thank you with or for is what you did last night. So, son,
Yep.
being someone who's reaching up close to the age of 18, what did you think about that last night as a man? Because that's something that I want to talk about too today, folks. Is being a man and handling and controlling your emotions.
Well, I think my opinion changed. Last night um I thought Javon Kinlaw I thought what he did was unprofessional. Last night after I watched it, I thought it was unprofessional. I know Grant isn't the best, but I didn't think he was this bad. Um, I thought all the stuff he was saying, he shouldn't have said it. But then today, Grant comes out and says something
I
like
haven't watched it.
he wants Javon Kinlaw to hit him so he can become a multimillionaire and retire early. So then I was like, well, if you can say something like that, maybe what he said to you is justified because that is a horrible thing to say. You you degrade him constantly, and then when he sticks up for himself, you talk about how you want him to hit you, so you don't have to do your job and report on him anymore.
Well, excellently said, my son. I'm not surprised. But think about this. Uh, His job is to report on the 49ers. And I don't think, folks, faithful, that he currently does his job If you haven't had a chance to, if you don't know Grant Cohn, first of all, he's there every day. He has the pass, and as George Kittle said, folks, being in the league, both as a player, coach, and as someone in the media, is an honor. It's something that you got to earn. It's something that gets you and garners you respect. And he is very disrespectful, first and foremost. He's extremely childish in the way that he speaks about players. His history with Jimmy Garoppolo is well documented, as well as his history with Javon Kinlaw. So I believe that you're right. So when I first saw it as a 40-year-old man, a 40-year-old man of this ilk, I said to myself, fuck, Javon. This is not what we as the 49ers needed. This is not what we as fans wanted. And this is not what a man who looks like you needed, Javon, to be honest. But then again, son, I started to get a chance to see everyone, you know, coming out in his defense, his teammates,
Speaking
and
against
it slowly started to change my mind too.
if this many players can speak against one person who is supposed to be there, just like Kittle said, players and reporters are supposed to work together. This many players should not have a problem with this one single reporter. If this many, and that's just something in life, honestly. If
Yep.
more people dislike you than they like you, more people have a problem with you than they don't have a problem with you, you're doing something wrong. You're not in the right if all these people disagree with what you're doing. You just can't be.
He's not, son. So, he, so folks, he's a writer for Sports Illustrated. Also, if you're not aware, is Grant Cohn. Okay, he writes, and he writes very, very, very short, quick clips to things. To be honest, from what I've been able to read, he does a hell of a lot more YouTubing than anything else. But he is a parent sports writer. He went to college at UCLA. His father wrote for us. What's happening, Miss Tia? Thank you so much for coming in. You know you're always welcome, no matter what we're talking about. But today, we're going to be talking about Javon. We're going to go over the 5 minutes of fury that took place yesterday. We're gonna we're gonna
It
play it.
was
We're
Fury.
gonna break it down, and it was fury. I actually did a video last night where I specifically sat here and just played it on the screen or aloud, and it had kind of my reaction to it. But now I brought in my child, and you know what happens when you do that? They pump you up. They make you to level 10. They're supposed to be the better after you. You know what I'm saying? So he's figured out ways, of course, to have it shown right for you all live. So we're gonna break it down for sure. I couldn't believe it. The things that he said are some things that a black man, and not to make this a big race thing, but as we all saw, it was about pasty as you can be versus as charcoal as you can be on the screen, folks. Let's just keep it honest. That's what it looked like. It looked like Frosty the Snowman versus I don't know, Charcoal Man, okay, or my couch. Let's just be real. So it was black and white. And the way that's going to get played out is a Caucasian gentleman ended up having a black African American gentleman act out, and really that's what it looks like in the end, and that's what I take most from it. Because again, the words that Javon used, besides balls and dick, he used the N word quite a few times, as we all know. First thing out of his mouth is, you have to stop my N word. So I'm gonna try to stop from cussing on this live, folks. I do it all the time, though. It's gonna be very difficult, especially that if you watch the channel. But
It's okay. Javon Kinlaw will do it enough for you.
Javon did it enough, son. Yes. So it was tough to watch for me, and I really want to know what you all think. Was he out of bounds for this, or and try to take the words away, faithful? It's very difficult with that big, humongous man spitting food out his mouth. Every second and third word out of his mouth was a curse word or the N word. So it's difficult to maybe take the words away, but you can see that that was true, real pain from him, or anger. He's a man who feels disrespected by another man, pretty much kind of in his same field, and then he lashed out. So, what do you folks think? And son, I know you, like you say, you because first of all, we've had a lot of players today come out, couple of prominent ones. George Kittle specifically, right, had a quote. Do you remember what he said? I know you just showed it to me, but I already forgot.
I can. I can
Or you can
just
bring it up, or we can bring it up on something
read
on
it.
your Instagram.
I'm gonna just read it right now. Some of
Yeah,
the
read
stuff
it,
he said.
please. Please read it for the folks, for the faithful. I'll be right back, folks. Give me one moment. Try to hold it down.
George Kittle today had to say after Grant Cohn made antagonizing comments towards Javon Kinlaw after their altercation last night. George Kittle said, "It's crazy to me that someone who was allowed into our building has the mindset goal to antagonize or irritate players with their end game of being this. I thought players and reporters were supposed to work together." When he says this, he's referring to Grant Cohn saying he wanted Javon Kinlaw to hit him so he can retire early or become a multimillionaire. But
I don't
being
know
in
if you
this
folks have heard all
building,
that.
being in this building, let alone this league, is an opportunity. It is not a right. People get really comfortable typing behind a screen. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but continuing to go after a player habitually seems like someone whose goal isn't to report or write a story. And I also heard some of the things Grant Cohn said about Javon Killer. And some of it was pretty inexcusable. Some of the stuff he said, I mean, you're a reporter for this team. Some of that stuff you shouldn't say.
Okay, so
Shouldn't say
so
some of
he
that.
says he says frequently, and he gets this from his father, Lowell Cohn. I hate to give either one of them any press, to be honest, but he gets this type of way from his father, and his father says that I used to come after everybody. Carmen Policy, Eddie DeBartolo, those are the former owners of our team back in the 80s and 90s. He says I used to come after everybody hard, and today, everyone else is too soft on all of these players. Well, these players are human too. They're not just pawns or athletes or shut up and dribble. We are, and that's not, again, not a race thing. I'm talking about an athlete thing. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they're all the same. They are not only athletes, they're human beings. They have lives outside, as Javon Kinlaw said over and over again, with food flying out of his mouth because he was just incensed. They're humans. I'm a human. My son is a human. I have kids. I know what he was speaking about. The last thing, especially as a father, I want is for my sons to be disappointed in me, to my sons not to look up to me, to my sons to think that I can't handle life. And that's what I believe, because of some of the things that Grant Cohn has said, I believe that that's what Javon Kinlaw is going through. So, son, you said that you heard some and they were inexcusable. He's
Yes.
done that to many people. Do you remember any? If not, no problem. We can try to even get into some of the video.
He
But
said, I know one thing. He said, if you're just telling someone constantly, you're a terrible pass rusher, you shouldn't have been drafted, you're a two down player, saying that to someone over and over and over and over again, it's going to, saying that publicly, it's just going to bring them and their confidence down.
correct.
You can't just continue to degrade someone over and over and over again. Maybe um tell him where you think he lacks. Tell him where you tell him what you think he should do better. You don't got you don't have to bring him down for every bad game he has.
Right. See, when someone tells you that you're doing something wrong, or someone says, "No, I don't want to do that," or "I don't like that," what people don't do is come with a solution, and that's like you just said. Hey, Javon, I've watched this. I see, and he doesn't. Just because Javon Kinlaw doesn't get 2 sacks a game, he comes in and says he's terrible because he was a first round pick and he doesn't you know, dominate everyone, he says he was terrible. Or because he's been injured for his seasons, he says he was terrible. But Grant doesn't know how to break down football. That's why he has other people come on the channel to do it with him. The only thing he knows how to do is be a shock job and just give the basics of what he sees in front of his face, which Javon is not dominating, so he must be a bad player. But he couldn't tell you what he's doing wrong or how he can do it better. And like you said, you can't continue to down, or degrade someone over and over and over again and expect them to improve on what they're doing. That's not how the world works, folks. So let's look at the video, son.
All right, let's get to the video.
Let's take a look at the video.
If you
So
want to
we
pause
warn
it
you,
all,
folks, if you haven't seen it, it's a doozy. I doubt anybody has not seen it at this point. And I want to say before we even get into it, Grant held his composure for the most part, but they're both brought up from two different places. But I also fully believe that he baited Javon Kinlaw into this. So let's go, son.
all right, let's do it.
Our families, my nigga.
All right, let's restart it. Can it be
Miss
heard?
Tia says he talks shit and he thought no one was ever going to say anything. He was wrong about that.
Okay. Can you hear it?
Unfortunately.
Stop talking about people on here like people don't got families, my nigga. Stop doing that shit, bro. What you get out of doing this? What you get?
Mouthful
What
of chips.
satisfaction do you get out of this, fam?
What's he even eating?
It looked like
Can I ask you a question?
maybe sunflower seeds.
No.
Answer my question.
What satisfaction do I get out of analyzing the 49ers? A lot.
Fam. You analyzing people like they not human, fam. Like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. Fam, I understand that's your job, but like, you gotta go about this thing a different type of way, bro.
Hold on.
You gotta go about this a different type of way, bro.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
What did I say about you that you object to?
Fam, all this shit you talking, all this back
Son,
and
can you
forth,
pause
all
it for
this
me real
big
quick?
man.
Yep.
Do you hear the echo?
No, I don't hear the echo. I can try
hear
to
it.
turn my thing down. I don't know if that'll help.
Let's try it.
Okay. I'm gonna try it again. Yeah.
Yep.
All this, I was in the training room today. Fam, the training room is nowhere near the field. Fam, I looked at you, you looked at me, you pulled your shades up, came walking over a little bit, not walking to me, you walked up a little bit just so I could make
He
sure
looks
that
like
it
the
was
kind of
comfortable
guy
to
who
walk
just
over.
walks
I
around with shades on.
put my chest on
Because
you,
he wants to hide his face because
on
he's
your
ashamed of how he
side.
acts.
You turned towards me,
Mhm.
and that was the rest of the story, fam.
Hold on, though.
Stop making it seem like I came about you at a cowardly way. I came at you man to man, brother. Put some respect on my name, bro. You don't know me. You don't know where I'm from, bro. Put some respect on my name, brother. I'm a man just like you. My
Pause it
nuts
for
is
me,
bigger than
son.
yours, brother.
I asked you what I said about you.
My balls is bigger than yours, brother. Put some respect on my name.
Pause it right there.
Put some respect on my name, brother. Stop.
Okay, folks. So, Goose Creek, South Carolina. Shout out to Tia. Is that where he's from, Tia? All right. So, he starts off, folks, as you see. And look at Grant's face. He's caught right in the middle. He tells him, "My balls are bigger than yours. Stop playing with me." I don't know how that's necessary. It's probably true. Son, what do you think about that specifically?
I don't think it was needed. I don't think it had anything to do with what he was fighting for, honestly. But I mean,
Good point.
he said
It had
it.
nothing really to do with the purpose of the fight. He certainly said it. But yes, you can see he said, I'm a man from the jump. He's really just coming in and saying that I understand you have a job, but you are very, very, very disrespectful in your job. He's treated our former quarterback, Mr. Hooters, like garbage. He kept me loving him much longer than I probably should have, just because of how he talked about him and treated him. But he's done it to many players on the team. And it's not just news reporting that he does. It sounds personal. The things that he says about people, they need to be cut. The Dante Pettis of the world. I hate Dante Pettis. And I have a little YouTube channel. But I don't work for anybody in it. I don't get a pass to the NFL, to the 49ers locker room. I don't have thousands or millions of possible. Well, I guess I do if I get, if we work hard enough. But you know what I'm saying? We don't have the ability to reach millions of people in seconds, with my opinion. I'm not standing in front of the 49ers after a game trying to embarrass another grown man. But that's what that man is doing, and it's starting to come out. Go ahead, son.
That is what it seems like he's trying to do. It seems like he's trying to embarrass and bring these players down.
And he said specifically, he'll say it all the time. He's not a fan. He played high school football there, TSS, right on. And I like Javon, sincerely. But it looks like Grant is specifically trying to embarrass the players. He says out of his own mouth, I'm not a fan. I don't pull for them to win. But you get a check because of them in one way or another. Go ahead.
And I'm saying he should get fired.
I think he should get fired too.
About me like I'm an animal or something, brother.
What did I say about you?
Don't worry about none of that. Don't worry about none of that. You already know.
Javon, if you're gonna come on my channel,
you want to try to bring me
tell me not-
hardcore facts, bro.
Javon, you're gonna come
Look
on my
at his-
channel
look
and
at
tell
his
me what to
arrogance.
say and what not to say. You should have some.
He's very
you should have some
arrogant.
quotes. What I
Fucks
say
with
about
that,
you.
bro. Nobody fucks with that. Nobody fucks with you. You don't even understand that. Nobody fucks with you, brother. You need to go find a new job. Nobody fucks with you.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What it mean? Nobody fucks with you.
Are you sure?
Nobody fucks with you, fam. And the only reason I'm getting on here stooping to your level this low is because I feel like it got to be done. Somebody got to do it, and it's going to be me. Somebody got to press you, fam. You like to come on here and try to bully people on the internet.
Somebody got to
when I
press
press
you.
you in fucking person, you fucking shaking like a coward, voice lighter than my fucking baby, fam. What's up with that?
Absolutely.
What's up
Can you
with
pause
that,
real
fam?
fast for me, son? Miss Tia says and my son said something similar to that earlier, Tia, before we got on air here with all of you folks and faithful. Miss Tia says when Eric Armstead doesn't like you, something is wrong. God damn it, you're right. My son said also, if George Kittle will come out and make that statement about you in a negative way, if George Kittle doesn't like you, the most happy-go-lucky, childlike, like he continues to call Trey Lance, childlike players that we have, if he doesn't like you, there's probably something wrong with you. And after this came out last night, I was very afraid for Javon. I'm still not thinking that he's 100% out the water. But as the day's gone on today, and more 49er players have just backed him, really, and I haven't seen John or Kyle's face, Grant may be in a little bit more trouble than he probably thought at the end of this.
Raheem Mostert isn't even on the team anymore. And
he spoke up about it?
He came out and tweeted at the NFL and at the 49ers. I will go say what he had to say about it. But Raheem Mostert came out and he made a statement about it. Yeah.
So he tweeted at the NFL and the 49ers. He plays for the Miami Dolphins. But he played for us for 4 or 5 years. Yep. Folks, this man hasn't – this is not brand new, if you're not aware. I saw someone on Facebook today. I don't know if he was speaking in jest or if he was serious. Yes, son, can you try to find that quote? Miss T is asking, what did he say? Yes. I found someone today on Facebook, just answering just posting, because that's what everyone's talking about. And it was in some group chat of a post about the two of them. And the guy asked, who is this Grant Cohn that we speak of? So the way that he worded that made me think maybe he was joking. But I'm sure that there may be plenty of 49er fans who do not know who Grant Cohn is, do not know the way he feels about our team and what he puts out about our team. Um, what he puts out is really vile. It's hate, for lack of a better word. And he does it every. Sometimes this man puts up 6, 7, 8 videos in a day. Wait till we have a game. Wait till our game start. Or folks, if you haven't seen it before, just go to his channel and go check the history. See what he's done, what he said about anyone that he could get a couple of minutes of a video put together about. You come across Raheem's quote?
Yep.
What is it?
So
Is that the fake quote and the folks know?
Raheem Mostert said in a tweet, "We're always told journalists and reporters have a job to do. Okay, understood. But this," he admitted, retirement as a multi-millionaire went through his mind. "This is unacceptable at NFL, at 49ers."
There you have it. I haven't said anything about it. I know my son spoke about that earlier today, earlier in the stream, at the start of it, and he spoke it to me just before we came on air. This man, since that happened last night, I'm sure he couldn't wait to get up to this morning and get to the shit. And also, it's just made him more famous. This is what he's probably wanted for the last few years, is to piss somebody off enough to where they would do this, because he came out and said it out of his mouth. I'm swimming on his own platform. He can't
I think
wait. What
even
now?
Dante Pettis, even I think
There you
it was
go.
Dante Pettis.
There you
I
go.
think
Go to
Dante
Twitter,
Pettis had
folks.
something
Just
as a
type
tone
in
of
Grant Cohn's name on Twitter, and you're gonna find some shit. I'm positive, because he has done this to us for the entire regime of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, which is really the time when I really started watching everything on YouTube. I've been a fan forever, but the last 5 years is really when I started to watch every single thing that came up on the Niners on YouTube. It's really when I got into YouTube. And in the last year, we started doing videos on YouTube. But I didn't, I don't know what he did to Colin when Colin was here, or if he was, barely getting in when Alex Smith. I don't know. But I do know since day one with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, and of course Jimmy Garoppolo and George Kittle and Eric Armstead, who Ms. Tia said and spoke about, he has destroyed Eric Armstead. Just ripped him apart.
That's why
And
Eric
Eric
Armstead
Armstead,
called him a low life.
that's a good, and that's about. You won't catch Eric Armstead doing what Javon did. I can almost guarantee it, and I don't know that man. But him calling him a low life, that's his thing just as much as uh, Javon saying that he has a little penis. To be honest with you, if Eric Armstead just calls you a flat out low life, because he's not one. So Dante Pettis, did he say something? He destroyed Don. I can't stand Dante Pettis, Catman. What kind of, and who does that? Who would do a touchdown dance where they do their hand on their face like it's a cat paw? Still and yet, I did not want Grant Cohn to treat him the way he did. I get afraid that that it's gonna get into Cal saying they're gonna cut somebody. It's like, I thought that kind of shit over the years, because he's so outward with it that he has people who now play for the Giants, if Dante's in the league, and the Dolphins, after what happened, after their teammate or former teammate really embarrassed himself, saying the N-word, F and D, and fuck dick and the N-word all over the internet last night. He embarrassed himself. But they don't think so. What do you say, son?
Dante Pettis.
Thank you, Machine. She says we're right. I mean,
Dante Pettis, I'll read this one. He replied to somebody else's tweet saying, honest, the person who originally tweeted this out, they said, honest question. Why not just ignore it? What somebody else says about you shouldn't affect your game. I'm not talking about just football. And Dante Pettis replied saying, I completely agree. And that's the goal. You either ignore the noise or let it fuel you. However, we're human, something that Javon Kinlaw brought up. We have good days and bad days. Sometimes we don't have the emotional strength to ignore it, especially when it comes in overwhelming numbers. And Grant Cohn will overwhelm you with the amount of videos he puts out degrading you specifically.
Hot damn. Dante, I can't stand you. But brother, amen to that. Salute to that. How can you I couldn't word it any better. That's what we just said. First of all, he'll put out 15 videos on you in a day. You have one bad game, but it'll get you 8 videos on you specifically. Dante Pettis was speaking from experience. He felt Grant's wrath over and over and over again. I watched the videos. And
And
sometimes
this
it can
is
be difficult to watch.
another tweet he said, just to go right off of what you said. People talking about the Kinlaw stuff like they've had to sit through malicious articles and comments being made about them in the media. He is one to talk. He has had to sit through the same person specifically, Grant Cohn, going on and on about how much he sucks.
About how much he sucks. That's just keep it that simple. He has. He Grant Cohn destroyed Dante Pettis. Faithful. He really, really did. I watched the videos. And then it in turn would destroy Kyle and John and say, why is he even still here? I think that anyone, no matter what your position is, what your job is, whether you're in the NFL, whether you're an actor, or whether you work at Walmart, anyone attempting to specifically ask for somebody, if you're not in that position of power, you have to do that. That's how I understand. But when you wish for someone to lose their job, I think that you are disgusting. I've lost plenty of jobs, quit jobs, laid off jobs, fired from a job. It's one of the worst feelings in the world to lose your job, whether you work at the corner store or whether you're the president. Do you know where your next check is coming, your next dollar is coming from? And I've watched Grant Cohn more times than I can count say he needs to be cut. He needs to be fired. Same thing we fans do. But if every time someone and now watch how they treat him now in the press conferences. If every single time he came into a press conference after a game, win or lose, every one of our players started to pick him out and say, "You know what? I don't like how you answer questions. I think you need to lose your job." Next question, and just go on to the next person. How would he feel? It's disgusting to me, son. I just we just it's difficult to understand. Let's go back to the video.
Now.
Unless you got something to say. Yes, what you got to say?
They're questioning why he is even allowed into the building.
So folks, what's going to happen? If the players don't want him there, and this, video, please. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm scared of you, Javon.
Damn, I don't give a fuck if you are or not. All I know is when I walked up on you, your fucking body temperature was fucking cold as ice. Straight bitch.
Body temperature.
Straight bitch. Your fucking balls shriveled up. Little dick nigga.
Hey, Javon, do you think
with me, bro?
Javon, do you think you're representing the 49ers well right now?
On this internet, bro.
Javon, do you think the 49ers are proud of what you're saying right now?
Stop playing with me like you know me, bro.
I don't even know why you're mad, Javon.
I'm not one of your
still haven't explained why you're mad.
You don't know me, bro.
I don't.
Stop playing with me on this fucking internet, right?
I don't.
You see, I'm gonna just pause it because
anytime you want, son.
He said right here to Javon Kinlaw, I don't even know why you're mad. But then I think this morning he released a video saying, "Are you mad because I said this? Are you mad because I said this? Are you mad because I said this? Which one of the many things have I said about you have made you this mad to where you have to confront me about it?" So he's admitting, basically, taunting. He's admitting that he has said all these horrible things about him, and just basically saying I think it's justified.
But he shouldn't be able to come in and say Javon shouldn't have any gripe with a person who came in and said every time they go to it's 3rd and 3, he can't get past the guard. He can't. Javon missed 4 tackles today. That's not what he's saying. He just says they suck, or you were the first round pick. You need to do better. What is do better?
We shouldn't have
What
drafted
exactly
you. We
is
should
do
have
better?
taken somebody else instead.
We shouldn't have drafted you. You shouldn't have a job right now. You shouldn't. I shouldn't have to talk about you. You shouldn't even be here. What is do better? Is there a certain statistic level that he has to reach? Does he have to flash, as Kyle says all the time on the screen? And Tia says she saw that. Trey.
Grant Cohn knew exactly what he was mad at. He knew
He
there's
did. I
many,
haven't
many
seen those
reasons.
videos, folks.
There's many, many reasons why he's mad. There's not
There
one
isn't any
specific
one
thing he's
thing.
mad at.
There you go. There
He's
isn't
mad
any
at
one.
all of it building up.
It's been building up for basically what, 3 years? 3 seasons now? Then the man is injured, can't play, can't prove, and he wants to prove Grant. They don't not know this man, or they don't not hear these things. They are human, folks, and he does want to prove Grant and everyone, us, faithful, other whoever wrong. I'm sure they all do because they're human, and then he hasn't had the ability to do so because he's been injured. Son.
Stop
But you're
playing
making a
with me
big
like
mistake,
that, bro.
Javon.
Stop playing with me, bro. Stop
All right, man.
playing with my name,
Is
bro.
there anything
I
else
got
you want to
kids
say?
to raise. I got kids to raise, bro.
All right,
Stop
man.
playing with my fucking name on
I
the
respect
internet,
it.
bro.
Hey, Javon, let me tell you something.
Bro, fuck all that, man. Stop playing with my name, bro. Like you're not gonna
Javon,
see me every single day, bro.
I'm there. I'm gonna be
Stop
there every
fucking
day.
playing with me, bro.
I'm gonna be there every day,
Stop
Javon.
playing with me, bro.
And I want you
I
to
mean
speak,
that,
man.
bro.
I want you to prove me wrong. And if you
Bro,
play
I'm
wrong,
gonna
I'll be the
prove
first
you
person
wrong
to
for
say it.
sure, bro. I'm gonna prove you. That's from God Himself, boy. I was
All
meant
right.
to be here, bro.
I
You don't
appreciate it. I
understand
hope
that?
you do, Javon.
I
I
was
hope you do.
ordained to be here. I was born for this shit.
I'm rooting
You don't
for you.
understand that, bro?
I'm rooting for you. You don't understand? I'm
You
not
don't
rooting against
understand
you,
that, bro?
Javon.
I wasn't even
I'm not
supposed to
rooting
make it
against you.
this far in life, boy. I've been supposed to be dead a long time ago. Everything happened for a reason, bro. I'm gonna show you, bro.
I respect it.
Until, bro.
Sandy respects it. Folks, I'm a fan of this show. It ended last night. Broke my heart. Crazy Juice, little dick nigga. Yeah, Crazy Juice. That I don't want to laugh at that. Pardon me, folks. And John says Grant is a hater. He is. And of course, Crazy Juice, and welcome in, Crazy Juice. Thank you for coming in, brother. He says Grant is well, he didn't say, he said that Javon said that he got a little dick. And that may be true. But the main thing that I pick up from that is I'm a father. This is a show that ended last night. You have to get off topic. It's called This Is Us. I probably talked about it on the stream before plenty of times. I fell in love with that show. It's a show about a dad who died when his sons and his daughter were 16. And it's flashing. It's about a family. And the only thing that those kids have is the memory of their father. He died when they were 16 years old. And the way he was able to shape them over that time was very beneficial and very important to in their 40s when the show was like flashed ahead. And he's dead, and as a true character in Any Man, me, I'm positive that the only thing that they want to do is make sure that their kids loved them and respected them. And not just because they had them, but because of what they saw in them. They may not be perfect. They may not be a millionaire, even like Javon, but they may have just affected their children in the right way. I know that that's how I am. That part is the part that gets to me the most. And whether he was bullshitting at that point or not, I hope that he wasn't, because he was still going off and whatever the case is. But Javon starts saying, I have kids to raise. And he could take, and they have a lifestyle to live now. That's just facts when stars get to be stars. They can't go back to being me. So, but still, yeah, even if not that, if it doesn't take food out of Javon's mouth and out of the mouth of his kids, which he really can't do, but he can definitely put a cloud over him in the eyes of everyone else. And then eventually, some point, maybe in the eyes of his children. His children have to see the things that this man has said about him. And I don't think that there's any man or woman that can really take publicly being beaten down. And especially when you start to leave a legacy behind you, you start to have children. Everything that happens to you happens to them too. Let's get back to the video, son.
Let's do it. All right. Oh wait.
I respect
If
it.
I have a shitty season this year, I promise you, you can rail me all you want. Until then, bro, leave my name alone, bro. I'm tired of that shit. I got kids, bro.
Right. He said right there, if I have a bad season this year, you can rail me all you want. And in Grand Cohn, why is he doing that? Why is he acting like he wasn't going to do that in the first place?
Because he's likely because for one, he's freaked out right at that moment. And then he's bullshitting him because that's what he is. He is a shot jogging bullshit artist.
He waved his hand off as if he wasn't planning on doing that.
Because he's a liar. He's a liar, son. Don't want. I mean, I guess we're reporters now, right? But most reporters are, or a lot of reporters are. And he wants to. He trying to. I would assume to play the victim. But Javon was being a man in that point at that time, saying, "Hey, if I have a bad season this year, destroy me all you want to." About my football, though.
Bro, I got
I respect it.
kids.
I respect it.
I got
respect it.
kids, bro.
Javon,
He doesn't
I
respect
respect it.
anything or
Fuck that
anybody.
shit. I got
Coming from.
kids, bro.
At
Don't
the
fucking
same
play
time,
with me, bro.
Javon,
Stop playing with me.
Javon, I gotta
Stop
call like I
playing
see
with
it.
me, bro.
I
Bro,
gotta
stop
call like I
playing
see
with
it,
me.
man.
Bro,
I gotta
stop
call like I
playing
see
with me,
it.
bro.
I
I'm not
respect it.
playing like that.
Okay.
I don't fucking play like that, bro.
Okay.
You don't
I hear
fucking
you, man.
know me.
I hear you, man.
You don't
I hear
fucking
you.
know me, bro.
I hear you.
You
I hear
don't
you, man.
fucking know me like that, bro.
Javon,
Nobody, none of y'all
it's over,
motherfuckers
man.
know me like that, bro.
I hear
Stop
you, man.
playing with me.
Okay.
I'm not the one.
I hear you,
I'm
man.
fucking not the one, bro.
Okay.
My whole family knows what you
Is there
look like.
anything
That's
else
what
you
the
want to say?
artist shit you been
I gotta
talking, bro.
Clearly.
I gotta
Yeah,
keep
my whole
talking
family know
about
what you look like.
and
He said his whole family knows what he looks like because of all the stuff he's.
I didn't. I don't mean to laugh, but yeah, get him up. It's time to get the gloves up, Tia. Yeah, this is when it got uncomfortable for me, even last night. And I didn't thank you, son. You know your father can't hear that great. I still have many times that I watched this, folks. I didn't catch the my whole family knows what you look like
Because
because
of
this
the
is
stuff you said.
because of the stuff that you say about me. Like you say, yeah, my kid, like, yeah, my everybody knows you in my entire family because you talk about me negatively.
That has
That's
to
how
be
you feel, Tia? How? Exactly how? I'm sorry. How do you feel, Tia? Like it's hilarious or like this is when and Crazy Juice Grant probably went Crazy Juice, you know he went crying to his daddy. And that's what I'm waiting for.
It has to be so demoralizing and embarrassing to have to even just talk about something like this with your family, the people closest to you. Just
I bet.
just having to talk about this guy who's saying all these terrible things about you
That's great.
constantly. It has to be just embarrassing to talk about your family about something like that.
Your family's gonna ask you those questions, or bring it up or man, Javon, did you see what this motherfucker said about you today on the internet? And then you have to explain that to them. Or your kids. Or a kid says, I saw on YouTube, the guy said your dad sucks. Like, come on, man. Nobody wants that. And that's exactly why Crazy Juice says Grant probably went crying to his daddy low. I'm almost positive. And Tia says she wants to punch Grant's ass. I do too. And clearly, right here, so is Javon. This is like I said, this one got uncomfortable for me because he's really pissed. And then he says, "My whole family knows." What does that mean exactly? They know that you talk about me, or somebody might fuck you up. One of my cousins may come fuck you up, homie, because I can't do it. But watch yourself.
I think he was referring to the just because of how much stuff he's talking about him.
Yeah, my mom knows what you look like. Why does my mom know Grant Cohn, but she doesn't know what Matt Mayoko looks like, who is the premier, the top tier, as we say around here, reporter for the 49ers or of the 49ers. It's Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area. He's the man that you hear at the beginning of every person who steps to a podium. The one who does the press, who is on the field doing his YouTube show. Why doesn't I bet you Javon Kinlaw's mother and kids don't know what Matt Mayoko looks like, but I bet you know they know what Grant. Before last night, they knew what Grant Cohn looked like. Go ahead, son.
Bro, I'm not the one analyzing you. Bro, I'm not the fucking one, bro. Keep my name out your mouth, and I'm not saying nothing else after that, bro. I promise you.
I'm sorry.
I promise you, bro.
I gotta keep analyzing you. You were a first
I'm
round
not
pick
the
of the
fucking one,
49ers.
bro. I don't care about none of that shit you're talking about, bro. Shut the fuck up. I'm not the one.
Thank you very much, Javon.
I'm not the one, bro.
Shut the fuck up. When you start telling someone to shut the fuck up at your highest top tone, you are angry. Believe me, I know. Wow. Carcast. Welcome back, sir. Crazy Juice says, I can't believe there's people that defend Grant and say that he's trying. Crazy Juice, have you seen that? People saying that he's trying to motivate the team?
By telling someone they suck, they shouldn't have been drafted, they're terrible. That's motivating.
I guess in Upside Down Land, maybe in Alice in Wonderland or something. I don't know.
Motivate me.
So we asked. Thank you very much, Carcast, and that's why look out for tomorrow. Be appearing on Carcast's show. He's right here in the chat as well. Thank you so much for coming in. He's let us know that Grant and Kinlaw shook hands and worked it out today during OTA's practice. So I haven't seen anything on that. So thank you for breaking that for us, Carcast. And I'm glad to hear that. How and folks, what do you think? How honest do you believe that really was from either side? So what you think?
I think some of the stuff Grant Cohn said right there, it was a lie. Probably, like you said, to try to play the victim. I think that's what he was going for here. Play the victim, make it seem like Javon Kinlaw was attacking him for nothing,
Doing his job.
really.
Yeah, for nothing.
Or just doing his job. But he's not doing his job.
Doing their
He
job.
said, I'll keep analyzing you. I got to keep analyzing you. Saying someone sucks and they shouldn't have been drafted, that's not an analysis.
Tia says no. Carcast says Grant is live with Larry Krueger right now. Wow. And he literally said to the viewers, what exactly did he say, Carcast?
Did he say he shook hands with them today?
Oh, he explained that he shook hands and they kissed and made up. That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry, Faithful. He is a pretentious, arrogant ass. He being Grant Cohn. And any handshaking and high fiving that he did today, I'm almost positive it's full of shit.
Because Javon Kinlaw posted on his story just 3 hours ago saying, stand firm for what you believe.
Which is clearly what he did last night. But Grant didn't. Then he
were
backpedaled.
shaking hands today and we're all cool. I don't think he would go right back to his story saying something like that.
Good point. Tia says it's bullshit. We're all laughing at this shit. So he said it on. I haven't got a chance to see that. Obviously, I'm going to probably try to check it. Thank you for that, Carcast. Check out a replay of that.
I don't buy it, and I'm glad I stopped watching Grant Cohn a long time ago.
I'm back again. My goddamn service. Yes. It's bullshit. Yes, I stopped watching Grant Cohn a long time ago. I didn't know last night when I decided to press that button and just be blown away like all of us were, faithful. I don't know if that was just his treat 49 like shit one-on-one background or what, but he's not standing up in front of his SI poster that he used to have. I haven't watched him that long. I had no idea he was in that pasty white background. Carcast says there's a lot of viewpoints and sides to this. What exact sides are you guys on? Well, I'm on the side, first of all, that says Grant's been doing this for so long, and I haven't stopped watching him for so long because of how negative he is about the team. Because at first, like, I was in love with the guy. Like, I was like, oh shit, man, why am I not doing YouTube? I bullshit you not. This is about 2 years ago. And I'm in love with him. But I liked, this is great. He's great. He has good, he doesn't have good takes. He's an asshole. My viewpoint on it is as a man, and that's the biggest thing I want to say. To me, being a man is really, really important. And it's a thing. It's not just you're just a man because you're 18 or you're a man because you're 40 or you're not, you're a male, you're an adult. But being a man is a real thing that you have to work at every day. That's how I believe. That's what I'm raising my sons to think, I hope. So a man can't do that. He can, but a man should. One thing you want to try to do as a man is to prevent anyone from grabbing a hold of your emotions, no matter the reason, and no matter what their sex is, whether it's another man or whether it's a woman. So my viewpoint, basically, for me personally, is that I would prefer that Javon was more eloquent, even, and didn't allow that man to get him to show his character, not act outside his character, show his character, really, to the world. Because now everybody knows how crazy that motherfucker gets or can be. And hopefully some offensive linemen know that. And I'm a little worried about some of the upcoming games that are coming. Hold on. We got the Niners coming. Is Kinlaw active? Yep. Is Kinlaw active? So I think he shouldn't have done that, faithful folks. I think he shouldn't have allowed himself to get crazy on the internet with Grant Cohn and make himself look negative to anyone. That said, that is me. If you get me in the right day, you are the right person. Because I'm human and because I have a bad temper. So he's not a fan of the 49ers, Carcass is saying yes. And Trey, can you keep it kind of in the chat while I answer that too, please? I think he shouldn't have done it. But my viewpoint is that Grant deserved it. To bottom line I think he deserved it. He earned it. He earned that ass whooping verbally and emotionally that he took yesterday. When he told him, shut the fuck up and little dick nigga, and my balls are bigger than yours, and I put my chest on you and you coward. No, you can't tell that to any man. I don't care who you are, what you do. No man wants to hear that from another man. Now, Grant, tried to stay calm, but that hurt. That hurt him. I know because I'm a male. So Carcass, he says there's a lot of viewpoints. And he says, he's not a fan of the 49ers. He's a professional journalist. You would think so. His job is to critique the 49ers roster when needed as a journalist and needs to get his takes out there to the world. I agree. So, Carcass, do you think that his style of journalism is effective, is professional. That's the question I have for you. Do you think his journalism is professional?
Uh, to comment on that comment right there, he is a
And I
journalist
love
who
your take.
get
I'm
his
sorry about that,
takes out
son.
there.
Carcast, thank you so much for your take on it. Absolutely. We want to hear is what I want to know what you all think. Go ahead, Trey.
To comment on that, saying he needs to get his takes out there, I don't think saying again, I don't think constantly saying someone shouldn't have been drafted, someone has an 80-year-old leg, someone is terrible. Those aren't takes. That's not a take. You're just degrading that person, bashing their confidence, bashing their game, saying they should be fired. That's not a take. That's not a take. And it's not professional either. So to say he's a professional journalist who needs to get his takes out there, he's unprofessional and he's not giving good takes. So if he's going to do his job, he needs to do his job right. Or he can go be an analyst for some other team and have some other player go off on him like Javon Kinlaw did.
Son, I agree. CG, hold on. We got a couple few folks in the building. Carcast, we're gonna get right to I don't know what that meant, Carcass. I don't know what that had to do with anything. His balls being bigger than his and his dick being little, or how he would know they grant. I don't personally like to talk about penises. Okay, you know, that's just me personally. But still, I don't know what it had to do with it. And he still says he critique without being a smartass about it and in a childish way. And we got
Or
CG in
just
the building.
bashing that
Absolutely.
player in general. He can critique without bashing that player and ruining their confidence. But yeah, go ahead.
Son, so my son, folks, if you're not aware of there's a person in the world called Jim Rome. Another reason why I like to talk about sports. I love me some Jim Rome. Since I was 19 years old, that's when I found Jim Rome. And you know what? One of the number one Rome isms that there are on his television and radio show, saying something sucks is not I don't know. Maybe my son's heard that, or it's universal. He's probably heard it with me in a car or something. Saying something sucks is not a take. It's lazy. It's lazy booking. It's just lazy. It's not a take. It's simple minded. And Grant, who went to UCLA, you would think would have better takes than you suck. You suck, Javon. You suck, Jimmy. I think Jimmy sucks. My take is Jimmy, you suck. But I don't get paid by Sports Illustrated, and I didn't graduate from UCLA. How does he get better, smarty pants? What better can he do to improve? So he no longer sucks, Grant. But he can't say that because he doesn't, in my opinion, for everybody, in my opinion, he doesn't have takes. He just talks personally about the players. He knows they didn't have a good game, and the takes on Jimmy are obvious. Okay, we know he can't hit the corner. He's not going to see the linebacker. We all know what it is. So he can make takes with James. But what was his takes on Dante Pettis? He didn't know how to break down why Dante Pettis wasn't effective as a wide receiver. He just said he sucked. He called him soft. He called Dante Pettis soft over and over and over and over and over again, in one game, in video after video after video for one game. Is that a take? Is calling Dante Pettis soft a take? And we're not saying he has to make positive takes either, folks. And we all know controversy creates cash. Everybody knows that. You need to know that saying if you don't. Controversy creates cash, not kindness. But is it a take to call somebody soft? I don't think so. And Carcass says the problem is the way he addresses his stupid opinions is wrong. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he may have even good opinions on, on the team or correct opinions, like James needs to go. Excuse me, Dante Pettis needed to go. They weren't effective for our team. But the takes. What's your take, son?
Uh, I think Grant Cohn deserved it, but I don't think it should have been done in public. I don't think he should have came out and said, like you said. I don't think he should have showed the world his character. Um, but I do think Grant Cohn deserved it. I do think he got what he deserved. I just don't think Javon Kinlaw should have showed everybody that. And if he was going to come on there and you know talk bad about him, all the extra stuff is just you don't. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to. Grant Cohn might have deserved it, but he didn't have to.
Right. The extra stuff, presumably, my dick is bigger than yours,
Yeah.
or call him a nigga. I stopped short. Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know why he went on and specifically, like you said, he could have went on and did that diplomatically, eloquently, not made himself look like he doesn't know how to, speak. But and that's what a lot. And see, we know better than that, because let me tell you, I fancy myself a pretty decent talker, but that's how I speak when I'm angry. That's how I can act honestly, folks. When if I get angry enough, including the spit. He was so angry that nothing else mattered at that point in time. And you don't get like that unless someone has touched your emotions. Usually someone you love or someone that you hate. And now all of our players, folks, faithful, and people who don't play for us anymore have come out to either vehemently right when I'm trying to talk. Unmute yourself. But we get the poll. We got 6 votes on it,
Dang
50-50.
it!
Yeah. Were you just giving us some heat?
I sure was. Right when you stopped talking, I knew to pick it up, and it was just all muted. I was
I
saying, people
hate
they don't
that.
even play for us anymore. But whatever. Just got my lips moving in silence, I guess.
People that don't play for us anymore are getting his back, folks. Um, yes, Messiah. Sorry. People that don't even play for us anymore getting his back, completely taking up for him. Really. And when I went to sleep last night, I did not know what I was going to wake up to today in regards to it. Um, but it's like, let me tell you, folks. Just watch the next time you see him. I don't know if Grant's going to be in there. We're going to see. But the number one person who cannot stand Grant Cohn, his name is Kyle Shanahan. No matter what the question is, because it doesn't come off well, but it doesn't matter what he asks him. The second he asks him a question, look at him. He turns to him with that look just like that on his face. And then he gives him the most direct, short, curt, grumpy cow answer he can give. If he can shut him down without really, if we haven't started that yet, like dumbass, why are you even asking? It's May. I don't even need to. And Kyle, Kyle's arrogant and a son of a bitch. So he loves the fact to get a chance to make Grant look stupid if he can, or like he just Grant's beneath him. Kyle can't stand Grant. So Grant may have stepped in a big ass pile, a 6'6" pile of shit last night, and not even realize it.
Carcast asked if we could review some of the harsh stuff Grant said about
Okay,
Kinlaw.
review it. Yes. You mean you want us to play it or review? What do you mean by review? Carcast, let me know. We can play it back.
I think he just asked
Oh,
Ken.
can we? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Some of the harsh stuff that he said about Kinlaw. So do you have any other? You know, I guess he was saying some quotes. Or Grant apparently today went on video. I don't know if we have that, but he went on video today, and like for me, for instance, some of the things that he said to him that I know off the top of my head is that he was a wasted pick. That's immediately for me, who also thinks work is really important, affecting the way someone or everyone maybe look at how you're doing your job. And who gets to critique the way Grant does his job? That's something that always why I think the last night was necessary because they got to be real. Grant doesn't get to hide behind the auspice of I'm a reporter and I'm doing my job and whatever I say, including you were a wasted pick. You're a failure. What player or human being, no matter your sex, wants to hear that? Wants the world to hear that about you? Most of us don't want the world to even know what we look like. Have you seen Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube? Like most people don't want the world to even know how they look. They love to hide behind the internet. The internet is taking over the world. Grant Cohn doesn't have a problem, obviously, with people seeing what he looks like, but he believes that he gets to say anything and hide behind his job. Like people hide behind, the computers. And I think that that's wrong. And yesterday they got out those hours. Grant works 8 to 5, 9 to 5. Those are outside of work hours. He met him in the parking lot last night, man to man, not the 49ers facility, on the field, not in a press conference. He met him in the parking lot somewhere yesterday. They ran into each other at the grocery store. And now everything that you said about me, about how I suck, about how I'm bad at my job, about how the people who hired me made a bad decision. Do you folks think that that's bad enough? Oh, Carcast. Yes, Carcast. We're gonna be on the same page. Believe me, it's gonna be a good show. Yeah, the word. So what he said about him are those things specifically that I just said over video. I don't think he said it today, but what he did say last night was specifically, you were a first round pick of the 49ers. So everything that I have said about you so far is justified. He didn't say anything specifically because he was playing the victim. What he did was put everything on Javon. How Javon, first of all, was acting and saying, Javon, you should not be acting like this because you were a first round pick of the 49ers. He asked
Something else that he said about Kinlaw that I thought was unnecessary was he said Javon Kinlaw had an 80-year-old knee. Okay, commenting on the fact that he always gets injured. Unnecessary. Didn't have to say it that way. And then he also says, like you brought up, a wasted draft pick. We should have took somebody else over him, and that he is a terrible player.
there you go, Carcass. He
And
has
I
an 80
just
80-year-old knee.
just
Is that
ask
is that a
anybody.
take?
Just ask anybody if every day do they want someone else to say they are terrible at their job? Every day. Do they want their family to hear someone else say they are terrible at their job? Every day somebody's saying, you suck at this. You suck at this. You suck at this. Do you want your family to hear that every day? Do you want to hear that every day? Javon
Negative.
Kinlaw doesn't.
So there you have it, Carcass. That's what he said. And we're going to be on with the gentlemen in our chat, folks, tomorrow live, 4:30ish or so Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time to talk more about this and everything Niners. Um, he said he was a wasted pick. And when he said that, Carcast, by the way, and folks, faithful, it's all season. Not yesterday, not one time, for the last 2.5 years. That's exactly what he's been saying. As my son just brought up, he has an 80. I don't know if I've ever heard that phrase, and maybe that was in my time of moving away from Grant's ass. He has an 80-year-old knee. Okay, I guess. He does have, Javon Kinlaw does suffer from knee tendonitis, I believe it is. But he's a huge man and a football player. It's to be expected. But to say he has an 80-year-old knee, is there, I don't know. I don't want to babysit a man or hold a man's hand. But I think we all understand. Is there just a more effective way to say that? He has a bad knee. But no, he wants to be a shock jock and blow up on YouTube and be funny. He's a comedian. He thinks he's a comedian. But he hides behind again the auspice of being a journalist. But he acts and wants to portray himself like a comedian. Just do your job. Just report the facts. If you're a journalist, report. Is it an opinion piece or is he reporting facts? Javon Kinlaw has a degenerative knee problem. Nope, he has an 80-year-old knee. That's Grant Cohn in a nutshell. Son, you still with me? I hope, because you're our producer. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Yes, Ted says he's just trying to get laughs. And Card Cash, I appreciate you for coming through and the info that you gave us. I appreciate all of you, 100%, for just kind of going over this with us. This is crazy. But it's really happened, and it had to happen. And Javon Kinlaw said to him specifically, "I'm the one. I'm not the one, and I am the one." And I'm speaking from experience. When you start feeling like that, like he feels that man is testing him personally, every day of his life. He thinks about that man when he has nothing. Javon Kinlaw thinks about Grant Cohn on Tuesday in April because he's affected him and those around him, I believe. So, you have any final thoughts? If anybody watching the chat, do you have any final thoughts? Any questions? Anybody have anything else that they last want to just say about this to put a cherry on top of this shit? And what do you folks think? Please let us know in the comments. What do you think is going to come out of this? Remember, Grant has to still. Football hasn't even started. They say that Grant apparently shook hands today with Javon, but he has to come and report on the team every single day, and not just Javon. The next time that they have any press conference, which I believe is tomorrow, and he's in there, the first player, the coach that gets in front of him, how are they going to feel? How are they going to act? Let us know in the comments. So, your thoughts?
I think there's a lot of people who don't like this one person in the locker room. And typically that means that person should leave the locker room. Just saying. There's too many people that don't like you. Too many people that would be happy if you were gone. Professional players. And Grant is unprofessional.
I couldn't say it better. I think that's perfect. Clearly, Javon can get.
I don't know what he's gonna say, so I can't finish his thought. So.
That's definitely a sign. Clearly, Javon can get wild. but there are professional players in the locker room. I bet you Jimmy didn't like him, and hopefully he doesn't get a chance to allow Trey to dislike him, Trey Lance. I think you're right, son. I think everybody knows that. If everybody else feels one way about one person, it's not all of them. It's that person. Crazy Juice says, all I have to say is Grant better stop opening his mouth or another player is going to trash talk him again. I agree, Crazy Juice. I think if he doesn't change or leave, it's only going to get worse. Maybe it won't. I don't know. He's not. I don't think Grant's going to be able to effectively do his job anymore. Javon Kinlaw may have actually won without even the fight being over yet. We may end up with Grant having to leave the 49ers. So with that, folks, thank you so much for hanging with us. Son, anything else you want to say last before we go to the faithful and to our folks? Your voice. I'm sorry, you're muted, Daddy.
Let's try
It
to focus
happens.
on better things like football starting. It's here
Yes.
now. Hopefully, we can move past this and get to football, real football, not this.
Not what I'm watching right now, which is the USFL. And definitely not drama in the locker room. Let's get to real Niner football. Niner ganger don't bang. And clearly, Javon just told Grant, you either bang the Niner gang or you better get off the train. So thank you all so much for hanging with us. I agree. Hopefully we can get past this. You muted, son. Hopefully we go ahead. Hopefully we can get past this as a team and just get focused on playing good football, keeping all of our players healthy, and then making us fans happy. Thank you so much for hanging with us. It's been real, son. Please make sure that you leave the chat on so our folks that maybe come by and see this after can go back and be able to see the live chat and discussion. Thank you so much to you, Miss Tia. Thank you to Crazy Juice, to Carcast, to CG Ruthless Sports. I'm not sure if anybody else came into the chat. I really do sincerely appreciate it. So does my son. Thank you to Jong as well, who came in and just talking with us, trying to make sense of what happened with Cohn and Kinlaw last night. Uh, if you like the video, we sincerely appreciate it if you can hit the like button, share it, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bells so that you can be able to come join with us when more things happen, because a lot of shit goes on around the San Francisco 49ers. But, I think it's something we should expect because we're a dynasty. So thank you so much for watching. Everybody be safe, faithful forever, and Niner Ganger don't bang. Thank you, son, for being with me. I love you.
Dope.